located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good afternoon, I'm Orchid Solang, and this is your 1 o'clock news. Vancouver's official development plan is in the works, and the city is open to public feedback. Reporter Gabe Liesi has more.
The City of Vancouver is currently accepting public feedback on its official development plan. The draft document is actively being put together and will determine the city's direction over the next 30 years. The official development plan will dictate space for green areas, housing, and schools as the city continues to expand. This is the second citywide plan of its kind after the Vancouver plan in 2022. It came after years of discussion with residents, businesses, and various community groups. The feedback will be incorporated into the official document, which will be presented and debated by City Council early next year. New provincial legislation requires the complete plan be adopted by June 2026. Gabe Liesi, BCIT News.
Canada's Auditor General, Karen Hogan, says taxpayers calling the CRA with questions got accurate responses only 17% of the time. Karen Hogan's office looked at calls to the agency between February and May of this year. It was one of several reports Hogan tabled today in Parliament. She and her staff also flagged First Nations health and infrastructure shortcomings, as well as failing around military recruitment and housing. Statistics Canada says grocery prices went up 4% in September, compared with the same month a year ago. Despite the removal of counter tariffs, prices still remain high. Michael Von Masso, food economist at the University of Guelph, says it will take time for price decreases to reflect in some grocery items.
Coffee, as an example, it comes in, it gets roasted, it gets packaged, it sits on a store shelf, and then it's less perishable. So it'll take more time for that product that was tariffed to move through the system.
Statistics Canada says short supplies of beef and coffee are persistent factors fueling higher prices. Sticking with inflation, Conservatives demand liberal action on cost of living with food inflation rising. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre asked today in the House of Commons, will the Prime Minister in the upcoming budget decrease his taxes and inflationary spending so Canadians can live affordable lives? The minority government prepares to table a budget that will need the support of at least one other party. The Conservatives have been calling for an affordability agenda as they seek to hold Carney to his words on the cost of living. In international news, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance expresses optimism about the ceasefire in Gaza, noting that there is very hard work to come. Israel's military says Hamas has handed over the remains of 2 more hostages in the Red Cross in Gaza. Since the ceasefire began on October 10th, the remains of 13 hostages have been returned to Israel. After they have arrived, another 13 still need to be recovered in Gaza and handed over. Vance urged a, quote, little bit of patience amid Israeli frustration with Hamas' pace of returning the hostages. The Paris prosecutor Laure Becqueux says that the crown jewels stolen in the Louvre heist were worth an estimated 88 million euros, or $102 million. She says that the monetary estimate doesn't include their historical value to France. Becqueux's office, that's leading the investigation, says about 100 investigators are now involved in the police hunt for the suspects. She said in an interview with broadcaster RTL that the wrongdoers who took these gems won't earn 88 million euros if they had the very bad idea of disassembling these jewels. Authorities hope that the culprits won't destroy these jewels without rhyme or reason. A big entertainment company is hinting that it might be open to a buyout. Reporter Sherry Preston has more.
Warner Brothers Discovery had wanted to split its holdings, including HBO, HBO Max, Warner Brothers TV, and Motion Picture Group, CNN, Discovery, and TNT into 2 separate companies, one focusing on streaming and the other on cable. Now the entertainment behemoth confirms it's gotten buyout offers and would be open to selling the entire company. Possible buyers are said to include Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix.
Warner Brothers Discovery was created just 3 years ago when an AT&T spinoff, Warner Media. It was merged with Discovery Communications in a $43 billion deal. And now for the weather. It's still cloudy around the Metro Vancouver area, the current temperature sitting around 13 degrees here in Burnaby. It's expected to rise to today's high of 15 in the next couple hours, following the expected sunny weather. I'm Orchid Solang, and that was your 1 o'clock news.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.